Little sunrise this morning. Well, it's over there somewhere. We're late enough in the year now. It's probably going to be right in there when it does come up. That one could be in a little farther, but it's got another few hours before it's going to be as long as I wanted. I may go speed it up a little bit. Just turn this one back on. It made it about halfway across this run before I came out and shut it off last night. I didn't want to fumble out here too much in the dark, so I came out. Well, by the time I got in, it was dark. So, how that went. And the damn coyotes. Maybe that's why he's been so grumpy lately. And yeah, he's in the middle of the screen coming this way. They started, I don't know, maybe half hour after I shut this off. We could hear them over that way. About 12:30, they had been below the barn. And then we heard them like over there, either in the neighbors or with the heifers. I don't know how many they are, but you know, red and blue, they get the yip yip thing going, and they can sound like they're 7 or 8. So I'm used to hearing that. I know what it is. So you listen for the barks and the other yips at the same time. It's too many in that freaking pack for me. And I was gonna try to drag my butt out, but I need new batteries and my good flashlight that can see distances. I had it out the other night or the other morning when I was moving the little traveler in the bottom, and I can see from the house to, there's 2 stumps over here in that corner of the property on the other side of the fence. I can see that at night with that light when it's got new batteries in it. Stretching a little traveler out, I couldn't see the distance that I had it pulled out here yesterday. Even when I was halfway across, I mean, I was down in the bottom, but you know, making the same run halfway across, I couldn't see it. And I'm gonna go run him off his favorite scratching post, because that post ain't for scratching. Although, I guess that's better than scratching on something else. See if you can see over there. Dang it, they kind of moved. They got a couple piles of dirt over there, and there's 4, maybe 6 deer over there playing. I think their piles of dirt are for septic perk tests. Only thing I can figure they're for. Used to be to get a public notice if somebody was thinking about building next to you. Yeah, the deer are kind of behind some little trees. There they go, however you can see them. They're having a blast playing out there. Now that those people clean that frickin' mess up, they got a nice place to play, and all that green over there is pretty much new grass. And it's growing with all the heavy dews we've had. And look over here, there's killdeer, more killdeer. The other day I know I counted at least a dozen. And 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 that I can see now. I'm going to speed that up just a little bit. Not a lot. I just want it in before noon. And the speed it's going, yeah, it's going to be about noon. He's cussing me out. Hey, that was in right at noon. Just got it moved, turned back on. That one's not quite halfway in yet. And he had these poor girls just this side of the bridge, tucked in the corner, wouldn't let them come up. I got done moving the big one. Got to go back down there at the bottom of the hill, and he wouldn't let them come up. So I turned the pump on and came back, and I ran his ass up till he was in the middle of this pasture. Now he's going to dig a hole, and I'm probably going to go beat his ass some more. And they're just now finally getting up here. This has been like a 15-minute ordeal. I had to tell him it was okay and they could come on in, and he'd leave them alone. I guess I got to get some barn cleaned. Get some barn cleaned and get the bulls off. It's about that time of year. Get them off now, because whoever's bred after now ain't staying around anyway. And he's just being a total jackass. Ideally, we'd leave the bulls out for 60 to 90 days and be done, but we keep getting these hot spells, and cows keep absorbing their fetuses when it's that hot. And they get rebred, do it all over again because it gets hot again. Anyway, they're out here now. They'll stay out here the rest of the day probably. Story time with Thailand.
Oh God.
Update on what's going on and why.
Okay, so we removed my left ovary yesterday. Everything went great. I was late for surgery because the surgery in front of me, which my doctor was assisting on, went way longer and more complex than what they thought. He checked out my right side, and I started crying afterwards because he said it looks perfect and I can have babies, which is the biggest thing for me, which everyone knows that I've been struggling with having my niece, which I love to death. I cannot lift anything over 10 pounds for 2 weeks, and they really don't want me lifting anything even like 5 pounds right now. So I can't lift Blakely, which has been a challenge today because she's been worried about me because this is not in her routine to get dropped out here anymore. And I am really sore. Really, really sore today. And I think I've snacked all night long. Isn't that right, Dad? I think kept you up most of the night because I didn't get up and snack.
Between you and your mother and the coyotes all night.
Oh God, the coyotes. If I could have shot a gun last night, I would have.
If I could have found them, I'd have shot them. So.
Here's a gruesome part if you don't want to see it enough that.
Oh, she's going to let us see.
So they went in my belly button before. And they went in this one before too. And this one's a lot more bruised because they obviously removed this side, so we're assuming that they used this one as an entry hole for their camera. Plus I have a whole bunch of pictures too. But I feel like a bloated whale.
She's still full of gas from surgery.
I feel like a bloated whale.
But now, why did they have to do surgery? Because some people probably
I have endometriosis. And endometriosis will spread, and it's just not fun. It's not good periods. It's not anything. If you think bleeding for 7 days is nothing, well, guys, try bleeding through the super mattress pads that you could even think of. I was bleeding through that in a super tampon every half hour. Nonstop.
Now, what is endometriosis?
Dad, I'm still high as shit on drugs, dude. You're lucky you're getting this much of a story out of me.
Her mother and her grandmother on her mother's side had endometriosis also.
Basically, it's the lining of your uterus that's supposed to shed when you have a period doesn't shed like it's supposed to.
It's also not all in the uterus. No, it gets into the body cavity, and it can cause very serious complications and issues. In her case, it actually completely plugged the left fallopian tube.
I had surgery 2 years ago in July. July would have been 2 years ago for my first one. And they did all 3 holes. And they went in and burned all the endo that they could on both sides. And then what they do to see if you could, basically what your chances are of getting pregnant is they back flush dye through your tubes. And my left one, they couldn't get any dye out of it all. So it was immediately 100% plugged, which is my side that had flipped over when I was in 7th grade. And ever since 7th grade, I've had consistent issues with that side.
And if you haven't ever known someone who's had one flip, when it flips and it kinks the tube off,
you're dying, literally.
The only thing that will touch the pain is morphine.
And I had, 7 or 8 vials of morphine shoved into me in a matter of 30 seconds?
3 amps of morphine into her in about 5 seconds. And that was at Emmanuel Hospital in the pediatric ER. And the doc says, give me more, and they're going, there is no more here. And they sent a runner to the pharmacy to get more.
Yeah.
And it was 7, 8, 9 ampules before they were done.
Before I could calm down enough and was back to earth, knowing that I wasn't dying.
And Becky was like, aren't you going to find out what's wrong first? And the doc says, until we can control the pain, there's no way we're going to figure out what's going on. So that was their first thing was, I mean, literally, she wasn't in there more than maybe a minute. And they had the first ampule of morphine headed into her and followed it with 2 more. So that left side's just been an issue.
Even to this day, so normally, like, even with my knee and stuff like that, because this was my 9th surgery out of everything. With my knee, the MRI, x-rays don't show jack shit. So even this doctor was trying to go off of my ultrasound that we did. And I explained to him, I said, you can't. It'll show that it is to the book perfect until you get in there. And I was right, and he goes, you were 100% right on that. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be my big toes broke and they think it's a simple fracture to my tits half gone and they don't believe me because they think that it's supposed to be all off their tests and stuff like that. So I'm kind of the problem child when it comes to shit like that.
Keyword problem child.
Yeah.
And,
hey, this is my 3rd time outside today.
So the tube and the ovary are gone.
And my right side looks good.
Right side looks perfect, is what the doctor told her.
I was in recovery, which I'd never. So I talked to the anesthesiologist. I always get the metallic taste after surgery because the tube going in and out of your throat and everything. I always get it. The worst thing after surgery. And my last time I had it for a month and a half. It doesn't matter what you do, you can't get rid of it. First nurse I've ever had in recovery that point blank shook me. She goes, do you want some applesauce or something? Instead of those stupid ass nasty popsicles, because I always end up with those, and those just make the metallic taste worse. Got 2 of those yesterday, and I was happy, and I have not had a metallic taste. I just have the scratchy throat, which is expected.
So
I'm alive. I'm here.
For the next week, she doesn't even get to drive.
Yeah, not allowed to.
She's got to go out and walk for 15, 20 minutes every day.
Just for blood clots.
And for the next 2 weeks, she don't get to do anything. So she'd love to be driving a tractor, I guarantee it. And she'd love to be feeding too.
I'd love to go feed my 3 littles, because that's not even equal to 10 pounds.
Yeah, but you ain't gonna push it.
No, but I can walk down there.
In a day or 2, you'll be coherent enough to walk.
I walked all the way over here.
Yeah, she made her from the trailer over here to the house.
Twice
today. Holy moly.
And I made it from there to the car because I got a car ride today. I told Mom, I said, I'm not fucking staying home. I'm riding the hell with you. I don't care. I've done it with every surgery, though. Normally the next day I'm so bored out of my mind, I go, get me the fuck out of here.
So, anyway.
So I'm alive. Thank you for all the well wishes and everything. Sorry that I'm not very coherent. I'm very sore. So.
She's a lot better than she was last night. Last night she was so rummy it was kind of hard to understand the fragmented sentences that did not go together.
No, my mom I think was going to piss herself yesterday though because I didn't go in till what 1:32ish.
It was like 2:30 I think.
2:30,
so. But we had a little communication issues in there too because where she was in the hospital, texting wasn't working well, and Becky was doing everything on text. And she should have done it on Messenger because then she could have been on the hospital's Wi-Fi and it would have gone. But, you know, it is what it is.
Well, they wanted me in there at 9 because they had me scheduled for OR time by 11, which everything was fine. I had gotten my IV in, we were all prepped, ready to go, the whole 9 yards. And then it was, well, they're not even wrapping up the person in front of you in that OR that you're scheduled to be in. Okay, fine. So I told Mom, I said, might as well give me my phone back and I'll scroll around on it for a while. And then we got to like 1 o'clock and I'm starting to doze heavy. I'm like, I'm tired. We've been here for hours now. Like, what else am I supposed to do? Because they don't want me walking the hospital because I've already been wiped down for surgery. They're not going to want to do that again until I'm already in the OR. So it made it for an interesting day. I took a nap. before I got my happy meds, before I went into the OR. Finally got my happy meds, and my mom was pissing herself because we listened to everyone else go into their surgery and shit like that. I was not making fun of people at all with what I was overhearing. Never. I was freaking creating songs. I'm like, dude, I'm hungry as shit. I haven't had anything since, the night before at 6 p.m. Like, I'm a hangry bitch at that point. Like, I will openly admit that. I was a hangry bitch. So they were talking about going to lunch and everything, and I'm like, yeah, I'll go to lunch as long as you're paying for it and I still get my surgery. Mom's like, no, you won't. And I said, yeah, I know. It was the thought, though. It sounded good.
So anyway, there you have it. She's here.
I'm alive.
Probably give you more updates later. That's going to make, we got 10 minutes just listen to her flap her jaws.
But at least I get a shower tonight, and I'm so looking forward to that shit.
In case you're wondering, when she's tired, she plays with her hair.
I do. It's probably why it looks like it's a mess.
At least it's not sticking straight up in the back like usually when she's tired and plays with it. But anyway.
Not running on much sleep.
She's been staying in the air conditioning, which is kind of nice. And I've been between irrigation and cleaning up the shop, which is a pain in the ass, and trying not to run the fan because all the stuff that will blow around while I'm cleaning. And she wants to go out to the shop because she moved some stuff the other day and knocked some stuff off the top of the fridge. And one of those things...
I hit myself in the head with one of those bins.
One of the things that was on top of the fridge was that fancy folding Harbor Freight light, and I can't find it now, so I don't know where it went.
So we'll see how good on drugs I am at finding it.
I put her in one of the wheelchairs and let her coast around. That way she doesn't bend over to see underneath things.
I'm not bending over anything.
So, hey, if this is the end of the video, thanks for watching, and yes, definitely thank you very much, everyone.
I've tried to get caught up on everyone, so it'll be probably a couple
I don't know that
days.
she's hit everyone with the thank yous, but she's been damn close, so the group thank you works too, right?
Thank you guys.
Really appreciate all the thoughts and prayers, everyone.
Yes.
Thank you. All I had to do was bring her out here. She said, I didn't, it wasn't there, It's probably what hit her in the head. Look, it looks bare. I got the first two out. It was laying underneath that one. The end of it was right where you could see it right there. Don't ask how it got back that far, but it did. So while I'm this far, pull that one out too. I'm just cleaning some of this crap up. Spiders love it back there. So, with that, I know we got a long enough video, but I got her out here. She's going, it wasn't there. Well, the only time it's not there is if it's being used, or it's right there because the charging cord is plugged in right there. So, back where it belongs. So thanks for watching. Hope you all had a good Thursday, and hope everyone has a great Friday. And the only thing I got left to do is, I guess, finish cleaning this up, shove the jewel boxes back in. Oh, I gotta clean her slipper off. She got it dirty. And shut the little gun down when it gets in here another couple hours. And then Maury's supposed to be here for dinner. So that way he can see her and she can be happier.
And I can have a shower.
Yeah, she's got another couple hours for it. They want at least 24 hours. She's got at least...
I could have showered this morning and been happy as shit. Okay.
But, anyway. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bad dream, I'm back. Ty said now would be the time to put that back here. The other tank actually sat on the base of the drill press and was strapped to it. Yeah, we don't need the twine anymore. It was twine plus a bungee cord. I think the bungee cord's still back there. I forgot to get it out. And, yeah, we're tight. The only reason it fits is when I made this, it's tapered at the back and it wedged in. And these two hung off a bolt that was literally right there. And I got two other clamps that are no longer in here. They'll go somewhere else. But those two hang there nicely. I mean, it works. And they're all back in place. Sometimes it'd be nice to have one big one, but God, I can't imagine moving one big one. That one's heavy enough. That one's not too bad. That one is heavier than both those combined. Amazing how it can be that heavy. But anyway, and the mag drill got its yearly cleaning since I had to have it out of the way. It's one of those things, you don't use it very often, but damn if you need it. You know what I mean? You know exactly what I mean. Oh well, thanks again for watching, everybody.